The light fades with death's cold embrace. You've already been zipped and tagged. Struggle as you might, it will not help. No one can break out of the body bag. Here to oversee the autopsy, your hosts, Chris Thomas and Broke Rider Dave.
What's good, everybody, and welcome to Bodybag Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Thomas, and with me, as always, Broke Rider Dave.
How we doing, everybody?
A very special Dave-centric episode this time.
Yes, we are going to be covering my top 10 horror films. And to keep it short, not going to go too in-depth in them. Just going to talk about them just a little bit.
That's how you know the dynamic here at Bodybag. When Chris has a top 10, it's about what annoys him. When Dave has a top 10, it's, a little bit more lighter. What do you like?
Exactly. I'm a little bit more glass half full.
Oh, I'm very much a glass half empty kind of person.
Yeah.
And just angry and bitter about the glass being empty, too. So what is our top 10 today?
Our top 10 is
your top 10.
Yeah, it's foreign horror films. I don't watch too many of them, but I do enjoy them every now and then.
I can probably count the amount of foreign horror films I could probably count in one hand. But this will be, I know just one or two off the top of my head, which I'm interested to see if the couple that I have would make your list.
I mean, most of mine are from like the UK or Australia. Just because
they speak English.
Yeah, I'm not good with subtitles, but there are some movies where they're good enough to where it's probably worth watching even with the subtitles.
So subtitles never really bugged me. I don't know. It's like the only time I don't mind reading. So is this going to be in any particular order, or is it just...
Yeah, I do have them set in order, and I am going to start out with number 10 and work my way to my favorite one out of all of them.
All right, interesting. So let's go ahead and get this started.
Number 10, The Woman in Black, starring Daniel Radcliffe.
Yep, that's one I've seen.
Yeah, you've seen it?
Yeah, I liked it.
I mean, it's creepy. It's a nice ghost story. I mean, it's been a long time since I watched, but I remember it really freaked me out.
So, real quick, does your top 10, when you consider horror films, is it just movies that the production studio and everything is outside of the U.S., or it just happens to take place outside of the U.S.?
I was doing, if it took place outside of the U.S., I counted it.
All right, so just non-U.S. Centric horror movies then.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue. Woman in Black.
Woman in Black, I mean, even the production company, I'm pretty sure, was from the UK.
Was this the first? This was the first movie
one,
I saw after Harry Potter, after Daniel Radcliffe's stint in Harry Potter.
I've never seen a Harry Potter movie.
You've never seen any of them?
None of them. Read the first 3 books, but I haven't. Yeah.
I don't know. Treat yourself, man. I bet you that in the UK they are probably sick of Harry Potter. I wonder if they get sick of Harry Potter like we get sick of like. I wonder if they got sick of it like we got sick of Twilight over here.
You'd have to think they did.
Yeah, I've seen them all, but yeah. Daniel when Woman in Black first came out, I was like, all right, it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it, but I was wondering, is this the kind of stuff that Daniel Radcliffe is going to do now that he's not Harry Potter? Daniel Radcliffe does batshit insane movie roles.
Yeah,
and I love it.
He really separated himself from, being Harry Potter. I'm happy for him because a lot of movies he's made are really good. One
of the first things he did, aside from the Harry Potter things, I'm going to star in a play where I'm going to play a guy who sleeps with a horse. If you heard about that.
I have not.
Played a guy, I think it was called Equus or something like that, where he played a farmer who sleeps with his horse or something like that. That's the bare minimum I know about it, but I'm like, yep. Now now he's on a show where he plays I don't know if it's called Miracle Workers or something like that, where he plays an angel. I've
seen commercials for that. That looks funny.
He dresses in drag and sings She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain when she comes. I love Daniel Radcliffe taking all these weird roles. But that's aside from the point. We're talking about Women in Black. So that's your number 10?
That is my number 10. Just made it onto the list. So going to number 9, I'm going to go with 28 Days Later.
I knew that when you were talking about British movies, that 28 Days Later was going to have to make it.
I mean, how could it not be on the list? It's a great zombie movie. I mean,
which is better to you, 28 Days or 28 Weeks?
I prefer 28 Days. What about you?
Probably the same.
I mean, just think about it. You fucking wake up out of a coma and the world's ending. It's that weird scene where it's like nothing's happening on the streets. For me, I'm like, oh.
It's been a long time since I've seen 28 Days Later. I really like Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy's pretty good. I'm just recently started getting into Peaky Blinders with him. I've
watched the first couple episodes of that. That's
pretty good.
I knew he was from 28 Days Later. I just didn't know his name.
Weirdly, there was a time in my life where people said that was my celebrity lookalike.
Okay.
Where people said that I looked like Cillian Murphy. I don't see it, but you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Cillian Murphy's a good-looking man. I'll take looking like him.
Why not? Yeah.
Specifically, they said I looked like him from Batman Begins as Scarecrow.
Okay, yeah. I actually watched it a couple months back. Great movie, but back to 28 Days Later.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those things where you mention a movie and then we just talk about everything other than the movie that you just talked about.
Exactly. When they say we went off the tracks, there's no tracks anymore. We're just riding freely. Hopefully it doesn't crash and burn.
Is that how Walking Dead, when Walking Dead came out, was that an homage to 28 Days Later? Because that's how it started, too, with Rick waking up in the hospital.
Either. Yeah. Like, I feel like it had to be, or they just straight up ripped him off.
Or quote-unquote, paying a homage.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I just kind of think to myself, well, how would I react if that happened to me? Like, I went to a coma and then I woke up and shit hit the fan.
I just cower in a corner and cry.
Oh, man. It's such a bad situation to be in because, like, I see people survive in that situation. I'm like, I don't know what I'd do. Like, yeah, I'd want to last long, but what are you really fighting for?
I might have to watch that again. It's been years.
I think this weekend I might just,
That might have been my first Danny Boyle movie, actually.
Yeah. Watch 28 Days and then 28 Weeks sometime this weekend. All right. Now to number 8. Battle Royale.
Ooh, that
Japanese film that came out in 2002.
Is that the one where everybody says that Hunger Games ripped it off of?
Yes. It's school children fighting each other to survive. You would love it because it's a bunch of children actors killing each other.
Yeah. Well, I have my popcorn and everything ready.
Yeah, it really didn't understand anything that went on because when I watched it, I didn't have subtitles.
Mm-hmm. I can't.
But it was bloody. It was fun. It's a good watch.
I can't wait till I have a family and have kids, and then I still do this segment of Chris hates kids.
Yeah. Daddy, what do you mean you hate kids?
Well, if it's gonna be my kid, he'll enjoy watching it. Like he'll be sitting there watching it with me, and
he'll be like, "This kid can't act."
Daddy, this kid can't act for shit.
Yeah.
I know, son or daughter, whichever one is sitting next to me.
Exactly. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Like you said, Hunger Games basically ripped it off, and I mean, it kind of spun into its own genre because there's been a bunch of different type of battle royale movies, like the Belko Experiment.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
You've never seen it?
I haven't seen it, but it sounds super familiar.
Yeah, all the employees get locked into the office.
Oh,
building.
that has Glenn from The Walking Dead in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I know. That was on my list of things to watch at some point.
Which, I mean, some people didn't like that film. I enjoyed it. On to number 7. Howl from the UK. I'll sell it to you. Passengers on a train get stuck and are being attacked by werewolves.
You said a pastor gets stuck on a train?
No, passengers.
Oh, passenger. I thought you said pastors get stuck on a train. I was like, okay, that sounds weird, but all right.
Oh, that might be better. Pastors stuck on a train fighting off werewolves.
Dude, that would be awesome. Just a bunch of priests and pastors stuck on a thing, and then they come out with crossbows and guns and kill werewolves.
Yeah.
I would totally watch. Made by A24. I would watch that movie.
Yeah, but it's just a great film. I mean, the main character, it's one of those things where he wasn't supposed to be working, and then he got stuck working.
I'm not even supposed to be here.
Yeah, and you're just like, God, feel so bad for you, bro, but I get that.
Next, what are we at? Number 6?
Yep. Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a great film to watch.
Are 90% of these going to be in the UK?
The next couple are actually from Australia. There's one from Korea.
Okay. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. We just got finished watching an Edgar Wright movie.
Yeah. And we've also done a Shaun of the Dead episode. You should go back and listen to it. But, yeah, I mean, horror comedy, Edgar Wright does a great job as a director.
You know, ever since watching Last Night in Soho, I can see why Jamie Stewart really likes him as a director.
Yeah, shows he has some range as a director. Completely different.
Yeah, this isn't like Shaun of the Dead.
Not at all.
This is Simon Pegg and Nick Frost ain't gonna bust in and lighten the mood with some jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really good. And yeah, Shaun of the Dead, I remember when it was advertised, when I saw the commercials coming out, and I just remember thinking to myself, wow, this is a really different kind of comedy that I've never seen before, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, just funny, got zombies, can't hate that. Especially the part where he tries to go kill his stepdad.
Sorry, Philip.
Yeah.
I love how just progressively it was just like, sorry.
Yeah. Oh. Number 5.
Halfway there.
Train to Busan.
I'm ashamed to say it.
Korean film.
Haven't seen it. And I hear that's a super good movie.
It really is. It's worth the subtitles. I mean, basically, zombies attacking people on the train, like people using the train to escape.
I hear that's a really gory movie.
Yeah.
Does it earn that R rating?
Definitely earns the R rating. If you guys haven't seen it...
There are people listening right now who have seen Train to Busan just shaking their head going, you have no idea.
No, it's definitely earned the R rating, and to those who haven't seen it, I suggest going to watch it. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix here in the U.S.
This is a second Train movie?
Yeah. Call me Sheldon Cooper because I like trains.
Oh, is that a Big Bang reference?
Yeah. He's a big fan of trains.
Yeah. I never really got into that show.
It's pretty funny, but yeah, I mean, Train to Busan has really good acting, and you can feel the emotions even though you can't really understand them.
I don't know what they're saying, but it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's worth the watch. Even though I wish I knew how to speak Korean, so I knew what they were saying.
I'll have to see if that's available on Amazon.
You don't have Netflix?
Oh, is it on Netflix?
Yeah, it should be on Netflix.
Oh, then I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah, at least I think I saw it on Netflix a couple days ago. All right, number 4. I don't think a lot of people are going to know this movie. Scare Campaign from Australia.
You're right. I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so basically it
Sell it to me.
Yeah. So there's this TV show where they set up things to scare people. It's called Scare Campaign. And the ratings are going down because, now people are watching, people actually get murdered on the internet. And there's this cult that goes around killing people. Mm-hmm. Making snuff films, basically.
Is it stuff that they see on the dark web or something? Is that how they're doing it? Yeah,
and so the ratings are going down. So to compete with that, they make this elaborate prank on the host who never got pranked. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of that, the people who are making snuff films and put them on the dark web attack the people creating the show.
Sounds like a lot of stuff going on behind people's backs.
Yeah. It's definitely worth the watch. I found it on Shudder about a year ago. It was just a random movie I put on, and I really ended up into it. I thought I was going to put on for some background noise, and I completely stopped everything I was doing and just into this movie.
And it was called Scare Campaign?
Yeah.
And that's from Australia, you say?
Yep, that is an Australian film. And number 3 is also from Australia. That would be Wolf Creek. Have you heard of
Wolf Creek? That's where they get they're stranded in the outback, and that murderous dude goes and and kills these people who was it their Jeep breaks down or something in the middle of the outback.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that. I know it specifically for that one. I seen the movie, but that one scene, head on a stick.
Oh, yeah.
Once the spine is severed, that's what you are. Head on a stick. I just thought
I saw there was a second one. I actually just realized there's a second one I need to watch.
I just remember watching it and I was like, man, that's so horrible because she is fully conscious and she can't move.
Yeah. And I heard it was based on a true story too.
I think I heard that too. Yeah.
Which makes it even more terrifying that this actually happened to people. Like, I mean, being stranded in the Australian outback has to suck alone, and then being attacked by a complete psychopath.
I might have to do a top 10 false Good Samaritans. So, like, you got him, or like the people from like anything where like they go to ask somebody for help, and they're like, "Oh, sure, yeah, I'll help," and then turns out it's a psychopath. I think you just gave me like one of my next top 10s is going to be my top 10s.
Fake Good Samaritans.
Fake Good Samaritans.
Yeah, fake them out. I mean, yeah, it's a gory movie. As you guys can tell, that's the type of thing we're into here. So, that's the type of thing you're into. I suggest go watching it.
It does say explicit, apparently, on our.
Yeah, definitely earns that R rating. All right. And number 2 is Just For You, and probably a lot of recency bias.
Ooh.
But I know you really want to talk about this movie. Last Night in Soho.
It made your top 10?
It did. It was such a good movie.
I don't blame you because I was thinking of my top 10. I was like, if we're going to include British ones, then Last Night in Soho might have jumped up into my top 10.
Yeah, like it's...
I will say just for the style alone, for the visuals alone, I mean, it had a good story to it. There were some things that I would have... that I would kind of change and 1 or 2 things I would remove, but that's for a different review.
Yeah.
But... You know, I said I gave the story about a 7 or 8 out of 10, but the visuals a 10 out of 10.
The visuals are amazing, and like I'm usually not into like the 60s type thing in it, but it was so good.
It reminded I do like, well, maybe it's because some of my favorite movies have to do with time travel, so it's kind of a time travel thing in and of itself, but great movie just like you were saying with other ones, if you haven't seen it, go and see Last Night in Soho, another Edgar Wright movie, and I'd say around the 10-minute mark, the 10-15-minute mark, that's when Edgar Wright kicks the movie into high gear and it just doesn't slow down.
Basically, once she leaves,
once she gets settled into her new hotel room.
Once she gets to London, then it
starts kicking into gear. But, I mean, that's after it takes... Just like with any of his movies, after 5-10 minutes, you have to get the setting down and everything like that. But then once after that bit of time passes, it just goes.
Yeah, like he had a show that she was a small town girl, and then like going from where she came from to London was going to be a culture shock in its own.
But that'll be a review for our future review for Last Night in Soho. But yeah, good pick for our number 2.
Yeah. And then number 1 is another one I don't think a lot of people have heard of. It's called Foxtrap.
Foxtrap. It sounds familiar, actually. It might be something I heard of in passing. Tell me about
it. I think I've mentioned it when we had Jamie Stewart on. It came out in like 2015. But it's basically a story of revenge, which you gotta love. So basically, these girls are in high school, play a prank on one girl, and it goes wrong. She gets really hurt, ends up in a wheelchair, and then like 5 of the other girls blame it on this one girl, and she ends up going to prison for 10 years. Then they jump to 10 years later where they have like a 10-year reunion.
And then the girl gets out of prison and then hunts them down?
Well, I mean, she's invited and she's acting nice with them, and then people start dying, so they try to figure out, is it her, the one that just got out of prison, the girl who ended up in a wheelchair, or her mother? And it's... I don't want to spoil the movie, but that's what makes it so good, is the ending.
And that's called Foxtrap?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of called it, it is a girl going out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
But her plan works.
Her revenge works?
She gets away with it.
Oh, don't tell me. Well, now I know she gets away with it. And where's that one based? Is that one UK?
It's UK, yeah. It's a UK film. Yeah, it's another just random movie I found on Shudder one night.
Still haven't downloaded that yet.
I mean, it's just one of those things where, I mean, other than like the VHS series, they don't have like top notch movies. But it's great for when.
And this is your favorite foreign horror movie?
Yeah.
Well, I can understand because I do like a good revenge movie.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised, if you like revenge, I'm surprised that Old Boy didn't make your list.
Old Boy?
Oh, you don't know about Old Boy?
I do not know about Old Boy.
Oh, that one got a remake, actually. The original one, I don't know if it's Korean or Japanese, but all I know is that a guy it's completely messed up what happens a little bit later. I know a big detailed twist that that the movie is known for. That's one I will say to you to go and watch. I'll watch either Foxtrot or the campaign, scare campaign.
Yeah.
You should check
Old
out
Boy
Old Boy.
is a South Korean.
Yeah. So
right,
that's your homework assignment is to watch Old Boy.
They have a American remake too in 2013.
Yep. I think it was Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin, Elizabeth Olsen, and directed by Spike Lee.
Watch the if you can stand the subtitles, watch the South Korean version.
I might just watch the American version.
I don't know if I haven't seen the American version, so I don't know if they have the messed up part.
Probably not, because Korean and Japanese horror films kind of go harder than U.S. horror films.
But yeah, let me know when you see that. But so that is your top 10.
That is my top 10.
I have a couple of homework assignments. I gotta catch up on my own foreign horror films.
Yeah.
So I believe upcoming soon, my next top 10, which we'll be recording sometime around Valentine's Day, and just in time for Valentine's Day, it'll be #ChrisHatesCouples.
That'll be a fun one to record.
And I guess I will go ahead and pick your next top 10 of what your next homework assignment will be, top 10 wise.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to give you a top 10. Give me 1 second to think. Okay. Your top 10 is going to be top 10 body horror movies.
Body horror movies?
Yeah.
So kind of like Hostel and...
Body horror as in like... a good example would be The Fly, where his body deteriorating and it's just...
So like The Fly, Tusk...
Yes, stuff like that.
Human Centipede. Oh.
Yes, so you're going to be a top 10 body horror movies.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So we have some body horror coming up soon, and we have some hating on couples just in time for Valentine's Day.
A lot of good stuff coming up, guys. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to Bodybag Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment as to what you'd like to hear us review, or any horror movie topics you'd like to hear us rant and rave about.
And while you're at it, you can find us on Twitter at BodybagPod and on Instagram at BodybagPodcast.
Thanks, and we'll see you next time.